Apple has 5 products coming next year that I'm extremely excited for. And if you thought Apple's 2025 lineup was impressive, what's coming in 2026 could completely redefine how we use technology every single day. Because while Apple's current roadmap might look finished on the surface, behind the scenes the company is quietly preparing some of its boldest and most ambitious products ever, starting with something fans have been waiting for over a decade, the foldable iPhone, a device that doesn't just upgrade the iPhone but reinvents it. And according to the latest and most reliable reports, Apple is planning to launch this device in late 2026, possibly under the name iPhone Fold or even iPhone Ultra, a name that would perfectly fit its ultra-premium positioning. Because this isn't just another phone with a new chip or camera, this is Apple's first true 2-in-1 device that blends the portability of an iPhone with the immersive experience of an iPad, featuring a foldable display that unfolds into something resembling 2 iPhone Airs placed side by side, but thinner, sleeker, and more refined than anything we've seen so far. And what makes this device so exciting isn't just a hardware, but what it represents for Apple as a company. Because for years, iPhones have grown more powerful, faster, and more refined, but fundamentally they've stayed the same, slab-style devices with incremental improvements. Whereas a foldable iPhone represents a completely new category, a bold risk that Apple usually waits years of perfect before entering. And that patience might finally pay off with foldable that has fewer compromises than anything currently on the market, with better durability, a more invisible crease, and deep software integration that makes iOS truly adaptable to different screen sizes, multitasking, and new ways of interacting with apps. And if Apple gets this right, it won't just be another foldable phone. It could become the blueprint for the future of mobile computing. But Apple isn't stopping there, because the second product I'm incredibly excited for is something designed for the home, a space where Apple has always had potential but never fully dominated. And that product is a long-rumored HomePod with a screen, sometimes called HomePod Touch or HomePad, which was originally expected to launch earlier but got delayed due to Series AI upgrades taking longer than expected. And now it's reportedly targeting early 2026. And honestly, this is exactly the kind of smart home device Apple should have made years ago. Because while the current HomePod sounds amazing, adding a display opens up an entirely new world of possibilities. From showing photos, calendars, weather updates, smart home controls, FaceTime calls, and interactive widgets, all while maintaining Apple's clean, privacy-focused user experience. Especially at a time when competing devices like Amazon's Echo Show are becoming increasingly cluttered with ads and distractions, making Apple's ad-free, ecosystem-driven approach more appealing than ever. And with Apple Intelligence finally maturing, this HomePad could become the central hub of the smart home, allowing users to control lights, cameras, thermostats, and routines through natural voice commands that actually work, making Siri feel less like a limitation and more like a true assistant. And speaking of assistants and intelligence, one of the most futuristic Apple products rumored for 2026 is Apple Glasses, a wearable that could quietly become as important as the Apple Watch. Because unlike bulky mixed reality headsets, Apple Glasses are expected to be lightweight, stylish, and designed for all-day wear, pairing seamlessly with the iPhone just like the Apple Watch does today, while using built-in cameras not just for photos and videos, but to power real-time Apple Intelligence features, such as contextual awareness, visual search, navigation overlays, live translation, and smart notifications that appear only when you need them, controlled primarily by voice through a dramatically upgraded Siri. And what makes this especially interesting is how AI has changed the potential of smart glasses. Because a few years ago, this category felt gimmicky, but today, with on-device intelligence, privacy-focused processing, and smarter voice control, Apple Glasses could finally deliver on the promise of augmented reality in a way that feels natural rather than intrusive. And just like the Apple Watch, Apple is expected to offer multiple styles and finishes, making this not just a tech product, but fashion accessory, something people actually want to wear in public. And while wearables are exciting, Apple's Mac lineup is also preparing for a massive leap forward with the redesigned M6 MacBook Pro, a device that has me more excited about Macs than I've been in years. Even as someone who primarily uses an iPad Pro, because the rumors surrounding this machine suggest one of the biggest upgrades in Mac history, including an all-new thinner and lighter design, a stunning OLED display with no notch, touchscreen support, a next-generation M6 chip built on an advanced 2-nanometer process for massive performance and efficiency gains. and possibly even a C2 cellular modem that allows always connected MacBooks without relying on Wi-Fi. And when you consider that most Mac updates usually bring one or two major changes, getting all these upgrades at once makes the M6 MacBook Pro feel like a true generational shift, one that could blur the lines between Mac and iPad even further, especially if Apple continues improving macOS touch support and cross-platform app experiences, making this a tempting upgrade even for users who haven't considered a Mac in years. And finally, one of the most underrated but potentially important Apple products coming in 2026 is Apple's own home security camera, which might not sound as exciting as foldable phones or smart glasses at first, but when you think about Apple's long-term vision for smart home, it makes perfect sense. Because for years, Apple has relied on third-party HomeKit accessories. And while some are great, many suffer from reliability issues, inconsistent quality, and poor software support. And Apple entering the space with its own first-party security camera could set a new standard for privacy, reliability, and seamless integration, offering end-to-end encryption, local processing tight, integration with iCloud, Apple TV, HomePod, and Apple Intelligence, and potentially features like intelligent motion detection, face recognition done entirely on device, and automation that actually works consistently. And this move could signal a broader push by Apple to take the smart home more seriously, building an ecosystem where hardware, software, and services all work together effortlessly. And when you step back and look at all 5 of these products together, the foldable iPhone, the HomePod, Apple glasses, the M6 MacBook Pro, and Apple's home security camera, a clear pattern emerges because Apple isn't just planning incremental updates. It's preparing a future where devices are more flexible, more intelligent, more personal, and more deeply integrated into every part of our lives, from our pockets to our homes to what we wear on our faces. And if Apple executes even half of this vision successfully, 2026 could go down as one of the most important years in the company's history, redefining not just individual product categories, but how we interact with technology as a whole. And my recommendation for Apple fans and tech enthusiasts right now is simple. Keep your expectations realistic, but your curiosity high, because these products represent long-term shifts rather than short-term gimmicks. And if you're planning upgrades, it might be worth waiting to see how Apple's 2026 lineup unfolds, especially if you care about future-proofing, AI integration, and ecosystem synergy. And as always, if you want the latest leaks, rumors, deep dive comparisons, and future tech breakdowns explained in a simple and engaging way, make sure you stay connected with my channel, TechVerse.